Hey, Miss All Stars. Welcome to Mike Talks with Miss All. I am the host, Miss All. Thank you for joining me. Do y'all realize that 2025 is almost over? Well, as I'm recording this episode, 2025 is almost over. You may be watching into the future, but as I'm recording, year end is just days away. I can't believe it. The year started out slow, but it seems like after summertime, it just accelerated. But I cannot believe that 2025 is wrapping up. So, as I was preparing for year end, I've been doing some thinking, and not from a goal or accomplishment or resolution perspective, but kind of more like asking myself, what did this year do for me? What did this year change in me? So that's what I want to chat about today. So 2025 showed me a lot, and 2025 taught me a lot. Some things I didn't even ask to learn, but I guess I needed to learn it. But one of the first things that 2025 taught me was it changed my perspective on rest. I used to think that you run, exhaust yourself, get tired, and then you rest. But the year challenged me on that thought and changed my perspective about it. Rest, some, rest sometimes means being strong and in motion for too long, and that it's time to stop. That's what the rest message for 2025 has been for me. Rest is maintenance for the body and maintenance for the mind. And ignoring the need for rest makes everything heavier to carry. So I became more intentional about stopping and resting before exhaustion ever sets in. So 2025 taught me that I can't keep running on empty and then calling it strength and showing that I'm being strong, because strength is really recognizing that you need rest and honoring that. So, secondly, 2025 reminded me that I am stronger and braver than I give myself credit for. A lot of the things that I handled this year, I handled it afraid. Remember, we talked about that in one of the previous episodes. We talked about doing things afraid. And a lot of the things that I handled this year, I did afraid. Starting this podcast, which is one of the highlights of the year for me, the fear and anxiety that I experienced to even start the podcast, and that I still feel when I'm recording these episodes, was and is huge for me. But once I got going and tapped into my inner strength and just kept showing up, things changed. Obviously, because I'm still here and I'm still recording these episodes every 2 weeks. And I also want to say that Miss All Stars helped me to be reminded of the impact that my strength and my bravery has on others. A week doesn't go by where someone doesn't give me feedback or encouragement or motivation to remind me that my sacrifice and my tenacity is worth everything that I go through. There is a far greater meaning than what I think. What we do is not always about us. It ain't always about you, boo. Sometimes what we do is for other people. And I get constant reminders from other people that the things that I'm doing, the things that I'm saying, the things that I'm talking about, they are able to relate to, and it actually helps them. So I am reminded to keep pushing forward and do it afraid. I didn't always feel strong in 2025, But you know what? I always was strong. So the next thing that 2025 reminded me is that time is one of my most valuable assets. And it is my responsibility not to waste it on things that don't bring me joy or that don't provide me with growth. So now, and I'm still working this out, this I'm a work in process. When something comes up and it's going to require some of my time, I evaluate the cost of my time, and how it's going to impact my life before I decide to say yes to an opportunity. It's up to me to live out my life and embrace the opportunities I'm granted and to do it wisely with my time. I'm also working on forcing myself to think outside the box more. That's something that 2025 has taught me. My answers, my future just might be outside my comfort zone. And I'm never going to get there if I don't step outside of that box. So 2025 has taught me that. This year has been good, bad, indifferent, all of those things for me. But what I cannot say is that I have not learned and I have not grown. And in the words of Marvin Sapp, I'm stronger, wiser, and better. 2025 also reminded me to let go of some old versions of Lorna, not Miss All, Lorna, because Miss All is new. Some old versions of myself that kept me stuck and safe. I'm still working on shedding some old habits, some old expectations, some old ways of thinking, and some old ways of dealing with situations. My word of the year, I usually start out my year with the word of the year. And my word of the year for 2025, well, one of them was perspective. So I tried to be intentional all year about the way I looked at things, because sometimes changing your perspective can change your whole thought process. So it's been a very interesting year. It's been an exciting year. Um, I'm anxious to see it end, just in anticipation of what 2026 will bring. So, Ms. All is going to leave you with a reflective question as we wrap up 2025. What has this year taught you? Think on that. Think about January 1 to now. Again, don't, like I said earlier, don't think about it from a goals or accomplishment or a resolution standpoint, but what did this year teach you in your life through your experiences? Think on that for a little bit. And then share some of the things in the comments and let me know what this year taught you. I pray that 2025 made you better and wiser and stronger as well in some areas of your life. That way, when the year comes to an end, you have some pluses and you have some growth to acknowledge. So, in full transparency, as the year comes to an end, it's not necessarily wrapping up neatly for me or in this pretty little box with a bow on it. There's some things I'm still sorting through, figuring out, healing from. But if this year taught me nothing else, it's that I'm capable of more than I thought I ever was, even when I don't feel strong. So I want to wish each of you all stars the absolute best in the upcoming year, 2026. I pray that everything you've hoped for, dreamed of, and expect, and your heart's desires come true for you and more. So let's walk into this new year with our heads held high, ready to face what's coming in our new season. It has been an absolute pleasure sharing time with you every 2 weeks on the podcast episode for the last couple months. Thank you so much for rocking with your girl, Miss All. And I will see you in 2 weeks, also known as next year. So keep being great, doing all, loving all, and being all you were created to be. Happy New Year! See you in 2026.